does your genie live? Where does your genie live? Where does your genie live? Where does your genie live?
Hello and welcome to Success is Your Birthright. For those of you who haven't met me, I am Kim Kasparian. I am the Success Genie, and I feel so honored to be able to spend the next 60 minutes with you. The main message I want to impart today is that success is your birthright. It is not for the lucky, the privileged, or the few who focus on it above all else. It is our birthright, and over the next 60 minutes, I'm going to take you on a wonderful magic carpet ride called Success is Your Birthright.
Can you imagine letting go of the hurt, replacing it with love, letting go of attachment to the push and shove? Can you imagine letting go of doubt? Don't make me have to shout. Let it go, 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 push it out.
The first thing that I'd like to share with you is a metaphor that I feel works very well. I would like for you to imagine that you've just come upon a gold lamp. And I want you to imagine yourself rubbing it, dusting the dirt off of it because you found it in the sand. And imagine a wonderful, glorious genie appearing before you. And the genie says, "Yes, master, your wishes are my command." Actually, what I want you to hear the genie saying is, "Your desires are my command." Because that is how the universe and the universal laws work. You are the master, and you are the co-creator with the universe. The universe cannot bring anything into your life that you do not ask for. I will say that again, because I know that some of you are going, what? Life laws work like this. You can only receive what you ask for. It's very similar to the rules of the genie and the lamp. When the genie comes out of the bottle, the genie doesn't start telling you what you want and what you should have. It asks you, "What would you like, master? Your desire is my command." There's a scene from Aladdin 2, which is Return of Jafar, where they explain this in a little vignette, of Walt Disney movie. A thief uncovers the lamp and the genie comes out, and he thinks he's really smart because he knows this genie thing and the 3 wishes. But he articulates what he desires not in a specific way. He asks to be rich, and that's all he said. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because one of the main reasons why people are led to me is because most likely you've asked, well, I really desire more money. And I think if I have money, everything will be okay. So that's why I'm relating to this story. This little thief asked to be rich, and the evil Jafar, who's in the lamp, actually gives him his wish. He puts him 10 leagues below the sea in front of a sunken treasure. The only problem is he's not amphibian. He can't breathe underwater. Therefore, he has to realize, oops, I made a mistake, and asks for his second wish to be brought back up to the earth level. That's what many of us do a lot. We ask for things, but then we're disappointed when we get them because it turns out it's not exactly what we were talking about. So what I'm going to ask of you guys is to put on your desire hat and be very open and playful out with me, even though that I'm not there with you. I really am. And when I ask you to play full out, I want you to imagine that I'm right in front of you and I'm going to be watching. So if you're giving me real funky, like playing out mamsy-pamsy, I will know. The genie knows. So I would like you to think that you are talking to a genie for the next 60 minutes. And whatever I ask of you, answer me back as if you believed you were really going to get it. Don't give me a mamby-pamby answer, the one the politically correct, or what you think you should ask for. Because this is how it works, guys. Your life is a product of what you've been asking for. Your life is a product of what you've been focusing on for years. So if you're really excited about your life, great, keep doing what you're doing. If you're not, listen here. And if you think you're doing okay, but you really believe and feel that you're capable of receiving more, you're capable of living on a larger scale, then take this ride with me seriously and play full out. And I promise you, you will not be disappointed.
Can you imagine being who you were born to be? shaking off the chains of mediocrity. Can you imagine setting yourself free of the excuses and the victim mentality? Can you imagine?
The first thing that I'd like to share with you is how one asks the universe for what we desire. Most of us are taught to set and achieve goals. And the trouble with setting goals is we start governing and trying to direct the way the universe should bring us what we desire. In other words, when we set goals, we're focusing on the means. When you set an intention, you're not worrying about how you're going to get there. You're setting the end result. As I say, we're setting dessert on the table before dinner. Because once we know where we're going, then we can let go and allow the universe to guide us in the best way meant for us to get where we desire to be. So I'd like to invite you to learn how to set intentions and do so from now on. Intentions are the first step into energy management, and that's what we're introducing to you today. The law of attraction and energy management to manifest what you desire and have success now. Very different than time management. Most of us who are educated and are performers, meaning great human doings, or otherwise known as overachievers, we're very focused on time. We know how to slice it, dice it, julienne it, and we're always chasing time. No matter how well you manage time, we only have 168 hours a week. So no matter what we do, we are always going to run out of day if we focus on time. What we're introducing to you today, and what I'd like to share with you, is that there's a better way. It's called energy management. Energy is infinite. We never run out of it. We're born of it. That's who we are. And when we learn how to focus on energy rather than time, we actually can step out of our box and control and expand time. Neat, isn't it? And everything you do from here on in is energy-based. So the first step is intention, and that's the way we speak to the universe. The universe responds to intentions. Once it knows what you desire and you speak it out into the universe and you intend it to be in your life, now you're stepping into energy management. Now you're stepping into your creatorhood, and you are creating the exact thing that you desire most. In other words, you're living it as you speak it into existence. So let's try that right now. The genie's right in front of you. Whatever you ask for, you're really going to receive. So don't fake me out or be cute. Ask me for something that you really, really desire in a way that you know I cannot misinterpret what you're asking for. Do so right now. If you're driving, shout it out. Speak to the universe. And if you're not driving and you're actually able to write it down, that's the best thing. Because there's something magically when you commit your hand and a pen to paper, it's like a direct line. You know, declaring it is like snail mail. Internet, press a button, it's there when you write it down. So take a minute and write down what you desire most, even if you don't have a clue, even if you don't believe what you're asking for is possible. I want you to step out on faith right now, play full out with me, and declare to the universe what your birthright is. Do it right now. Great. Can you feel that? Do it again. Just shout it out. Write it and then speak it, because that is your birthright. Congratulations, you've just begun to create what you desire and bring it into your life just by doing what you just did. If for some reason that we stopped communicating right now, you've done enough, and we're only in the beginning. The next thing that I want to share with you, once you write something like that down, you want to make sure it's specific. Reread it, look at it. If you were the genie, would you know exactly what you meant? If so, great. If not, get more specific. Don't make it fancy. As you can tell, I make up my own words and I have my own meanings. We call them the genie-isms. So make sure you're not writing your own genie-isms. Make it clear so that the universe, if you never had to explain what you're writing, could understand. The next thing I want to introduce to you guys is the whole concept of Big Rocks. Big Rocks is a management system that I learned through a story. And it was a story of a science teacher, I'll tell you really quickly, that brought in a jar, water, gravel, rocks, and sand. And he explained to his class that he was going to put all these things in this little jar. Nobody believed him, but he said, well, watch. He put them in the big rocks first. Then he took the gravel, and the gravel miraculously fit where the openings were in the rocks. And he asked the students, do you think I can put the rest in? They're like, well, I don't know. There might be a little bit of room there. He then took the sand, and the sand took the places where the gravel hadn't taken up space. And then he put in the water. To everyone's amazement, right to the top of the jar, not one drop spilt. And he asked his students, how do you think I did that? One of the kids raised his hand and said, I'm not sure, but I think it had something to do with your big rocks. He said, exactly. Had I attempted to put anything else in the jar other than the big rocks first, nothing would have fit. But because I put the big rocks in, the little stuff found their own places. And that is our approach for our time together. I would like you to focus on the big rocks in your life, the things that you value most. Do you remember I asked you to write or declare the 5 things that you valued most? Well, get that list, because that is what we need to focus on to create abundance in your life, for us to create more time to do the things that you love, to create more money, to create more success, more passion, anything you desire. The way to gain what you desire and live your truth is through a simple management system called Big Rocks. And one of the things that we teach is if you focus on the big rocks, which I call the dashboard for success. Yes, the genie has to drive that lamp or has to see what the rest of the world is doing in that lamp. And what I do is I manage a dashboard of success. Call it your success dashboard of your big rocks. What I'd like you to do now is choose your 5 rocks, the 5 things that if you choose to manage them and focus on those big things, everything else in your life will just come into place right underneath. And what I will do for you, so you have an understanding of what I'm talking about, is I will share with you mine. In order for me to live a vibrant life, be successful, make tons of money, and have a lot of fun, there's 5 rocks that I follow. 1 is extreme self-care. Take care of me and put myself first. That includes sleep, eating 3 times a day, and exercising 3 times a week. Then if I respect the money and spend time with my family, including my husband, I can make millions. I am on top of the world. I can do anything. I can overcome anything you throw at me, and I hit the ball out of the park every time. If I do not follow those 5 simple things, and some of you are saying, well, when does she get business done? All the time when I need to. But if I do not follow these 5 things, nothing works. The universe could put everything I desire in my lap, and I'd find a way to drop it, step on it, lose it, or be so ungrateful I'm miserable and making everyone around me miserable too. It's the 5 things in life. If you could live your life in your authentic truth, everything would just work out better than you could possibly imagine. So take a minute now. I've shared with you mine. Share with us yours. Write them down. The 5 things that if you could just be left alone to manage, everything would work out better than you could possibly imagine. Okay, so let's review. What the heck is she talking about? This universe and energy management and big rocks? Well, let me explain to you how the universe works. The universe is part of you. You are one with the universe, meaning there is a part of you that you may be in touch with, or maybe this is the first time that you're being introduced to your genie. And this genie is connected to something bigger than you could possibly imagine. And this part of you will never leave you, lie to you, steer you wrong, make a mistake, get you off track. All it desires is what you desire. And the neat thing is it's not bound by the limitations of this physical plane or your conscious day-to-day thinking, what I call your stinking thinking, and it's limitless. And if you can just learn to build a relationship with it, get comfortable with it, and start co-creating your life in the image that you hold in your mind and in your heart, the possibilities are endless, and your birthright will come to you right now. So what I'm explaining to you are tools, because like I said, this is a 20-year journey for me, and there is no way possible I could impart all my wisdom into you in 60 minutes. So I'm giving you a brief yet potent recipe to create success in your life. And if this resonates with you, we're going to invite you at the end of the CD to learn more about us and be able to take part in other classes and other CDs that we offer. So don't worry if this is new to you. And for those of you who are like, I'm with you, I totally understand this, and I love it, great, there's more. One of the Genie-isms that I came up with is make your quirks work. It was born out of my 20-year journey for self-esteem, because at the age of 21, as I was studying success, I noticed one thing in people who were successful. They felt good about themselves. Somehow they believed in who they were. Even though they were making mistakes and maybe life wasn't perfect, they felt good about themselves. And at 21, the truth was I didn't. Maybe once upon a time I did, but life had happened and I was starting to not value myself or think I had any value. And I tried to be what I thought others expected me to be. And that's the sad part of self-esteem. When you don't have enough or you don't have any, you start trying to mimic those around you who you think are successful. And that caused me a lot of problems. And I really wasn't happy. And even with the success that I did manage to create, it never felt right. Do you ever try something on and although everyone's telling you it looks really good, it just doesn't feel like you? Well, I went through that for most of my 20s until I realized that, you know what? I'm me. I may not be perfect and I might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I am me and I am the only me that I have. When I decided to make my quirks work and just lead with my heart and trust that the universe would embrace me and that I'm enough, that's when life started getting exciting. When I realized that even though I wasn't perfect, I could still accept me, I could enjoy me, and I found something really weird happen. More people started enjoying me and started telling me that I'm enough. So I am a really big believer on making your quirks work. I'm not here to change you. I'm actually here to embrace you. I want to know all about you. I want to know the fun stuff, the icky stuff, everything in between, because that is you. That is what makes you unique. And that is enough for you to make life-changing benefits in your life and the life of others. So from here on in, say it with me. Kim, I'm going to make my quirks work.